Hi, this is Dr. Mitch Kennedy with HealWithNature.com, and today we're going to talk about why you should buy high-quality vitamins. Any kind of vitamins. They should all be high quality because you shouldn't spend your money on crap. Can I say that on YouTube?
Yes.
I don't know. Anyway, here we go. So think of it this way. If you're someone who maybe doesn't have the best nutrition, eats a lot of junk food, or doesn't get balanced meals all the time, or is really stressed, your body's craving vitamins and minerals that it doesn't get. And if you're going to take something to supplement that, then you're going to want something that's going to give it to you in the most available format that your body can grab and use right away. So you all probably have seen multivitamins that are like this big, the horse pill kind. They're hard tablets. They're coated with something smooth, waxy on the outside. So let's talk about what the problem is with a one-a-day tablet format. So first of all, it's large, and people who have trouble swallowing pills have trouble with those. Secondly, in order to make it smoother to swallow, they often put a coating on the outside. Now that can be plastic, that can be wax, it can be all sorts of things. And I have a handout for you at the end. It compares all the different things, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. There's so many different additives in these tablets that you don't even want to know about it. But that's just the beginning of this tablet problem. The other thing is everything's got to be compressed together, and then it's got to be held together once it's compressed so it doesn't fall apart. So not only are you getting stuff that's jam-packed in there really, really tight, but you have something that's trying, almost like glue, trying to hold that together so that it doesn't break apart in the bottle when it hits all the other tablets. One of the things they use is carnauba wax. You might have heard of that. You put it on your car to make it shiny. Yeah, that's in there. So we want to talk about a different alternative, something that's better. And the thing that's better is vitamins in capsules, because capsules are usually made out of either vegetable or animal gelatin. So it dissolves in water very quickly, and inside is a powder. And you might have to take a couple more of these than just one because the powder's loose. It's not packed in and it's not glued together. But you're going to be able to take this and have it open up and get into your body a lot more easily. That's the first thing. It's called potency and absorbability, right? So a second aspect to that is what format is the thing that's supposed to be in the vitamin in terms of its ability to be absorbed by your body once it gets into your body. So you can take, like, for example, there's iron frying pans, and you can try to get your iron for building your blood out of a frying pan, and you'll get some. It's about 5 to 10% absorbed, but it's not that good. Red meat is better. If you don't mind eating red meat, that's like 20%, 25% absorbed. Then you can get into vitamins that are in powdered form that come in different iron formats, like a citrate. So they've taken the iron, they've attached it to something that's sort of like vitamin C. And so it's much more easily taken in by the cells of the intestines while it transverses through your gastrointestinal tract. So that's really important. Format is super important. And that's not just for minerals. That's not just for calcium, magnesium, and zinc and all those. It's also for the vitamins themselves, the vitamin B, the vitamin D, the vitamin A, K, all those things. The format, the chemical format is really, really important. So you're not going to find that in a hard tablet. So that's the first thing. The second thing is quality. And when I talk about quality, I mean not just the formats that I already mentioned, but the lack of things. So, for example, did they test their materials before they made the vitamin for things like mold? Because truth be told, some of this stuff was made in different countries, and then it comes over by a big boat, slow boat from somewhere, and yeah, it's moist down there. Things could get moldy, whatever. There might have been mold on the material after it sat in the warehouse. There can be residues like pesticides. There can be even heavy metals sometimes, like lead. A number of years ago, there was a big news story in the U.S. about finding lead in calcium supplements. And that was a quality control issue. So the quality is really important. And to know that you're getting quality, you have to have a couple things. The first is the company should follow what's called Good Manufacturing Practices, or GMP. Now, this is a certification that the company gets by developing all these instructions so that everybody in the factory does the same steps the same way the whole time they make this. And it has to do with cleanliness also. So that's really important. And so if your vitamin doesn't have a GMP logo at the bottom of the corner of one of the bottles, that's concerning. The other thing is it should be tested. So the substances that are in the vitamin should be tested for mold, for heavy metals, for pesticides, for being rancid. So for example, vitamin E, vitamin A, K, and D are all oil-based vitamins. And as you might know, oil can go rancid if it sits around, if it gets too hot, whatever. And so do the companies test for that? That's really important. So for example, there are many plants that look similar, right? One of them can be the kind of plant that would help you, has the beneficial properties you're looking for. And the other one, which looks just like it, could be toxic. So someone who's collecting those herbs may not know the difference and might sell them really cheaply because they want to make the money, and they can't provide any assurance because they don't know how to. So the companies that buy the cheapest herbs usually get not only the oldest herbs, but they also get the herbs and other substances that may or may not be what they say they are. And I have friends in the nutritional supplement industry, and they tell me stories all the time that when the stuff comes in, they test it, they said they ordered this, and it tests out for that. It's not the same thing, they send it back. So quality matters in a lot of different ways, because you don't want to be taking something that you think is one thing when it's actually completely different. The second thing that you need to be concerned about with low quality supplements is that where the raw material comes from, meaning talking briefly again about like botanical medicines, herbs, they could be growing at the side of a road in a ditch. That could be a sewage ditch. That could be a ditch where all the oils and everything from the road run off and the plant absorbs that. So that plant's contaminated with gasoline and lead and all sorts of byproducts that are toxic to you. Now, if the company that buys that doesn't test for those things, they'll never know they're in there. They're in there, but they won't know it, so you won't know it either. That's the quality aspect of it. So let's move on to the third thing, which kind of ties in. It's additives. Some companies will put in, well, I have a list here, so I'm just going to glance at the list. Something like polyethylene glycol, which is closely related to radiator fluid. Crosspovidone, which is another thing that shows up in foodstuffs and also cosmetics. BHT, which is a preservative. Things like gelatin, hydrogenated palm oils. These are all additives that are added in to poor quality products to either make like I said earlier, the tablets stick together, or to make it have a better color, or to make it not have a bad smell, for example. So you don't need any of those because there's no nutritional value in any of that stuff. It's just getting in the way of you absorbing what you really do need, which is basically the vitamins and the minerals. So again, we go back to that capsule. You got a capsule with a loose powder inside it. That's one of your best bets. Now, aside from that, you should still be asking one more question. Well, how old are my vitamins? And this has got two angles to it. The first is the time that the raw materials sit in either a warehouse or the factory before they get used, right? Because warehouses usually aren't air conditioned. So in the summer, or if let's say they were in a very hot climate somewhere, yeah, those things could get really hot and they could start to break down. The other thing is, once it's made and it gets shipped somewhere, is it sitting like on the shelf in, say, like a I don't know, just kind of supermarket or a pharmacy or anywhere really, how long is it sitting there before someone buys it? So if it's not a place that moves a lot of product in the sense that, the shelf gets turned over and turned over, you really got to wonder. And things are dated, at least in the US, they're dated for expiration. And that's really helpful because you can look at that date and you say, oh, well, that's going to expire in a month. Oh, maybe I don't want that one. You could try to reach into the back of the shelf and get one that maybe is a little newer, but you're better off. That should be a red flag right there. So you're like, oh, geez, this is going to expire in a month. They don't move a lot of product. So you could probably be guaranteed that all the vitamins in that store don't move very much. So you really got to wonder. The other thing that sometimes happens, and it's not the case at every online place, but sometimes discounted online stores will sell things cheaply because they're really coming close to the end of their expiration date. So they give you a really good price, but when you get it, you see you only got a month left or something like that. Now, that said, there are very reputable sites that do high quality work and are moving a lot of products, so you don't have to worry about that. So where do you get good quality vitamins? Well, there's 4 places. The first would be to go develop a relationship with a naturopathic physician or some other alternative medicine minded physician who carries them as part of their medicinary. The second would be to go to your local independently owned health food store, as they do a lot of their own research and know a lot about what they carry. The third option would be to go to a national chain health food store, and they will have a whole segment, several aisles of nutritional supplements. And lastly, you're welcome to come to our site, healwithnature.com/deals, where we are offering hand-selected, high-quality, physician-quality vitamins at a 15% discount so that we can help you by bringing you more content about health and wellness to make you healthier and happier. And like I said, we have a handout for you on this, and it's going to be available for download on healwithnature.com, and that will show up in the show notes. Thank you very much. We appreciate you watching.